probably saw Clint Eastwood has defended his empty chair speech, you know, spur of the moment kind of thing. Let's talk about Lee Saunders, though. I mean, why should we care about how many people are talking about this and sharing this online?
Well, John, what I love about this story is it's really the case of a meme crossing into mainstream. It's a real news story. It was a real labor leader frustrated at the state of policy, speaking at the DNC and referencing something that had kind of become internet culture. 400,000 people viewed that story. It had a 50-times social lift on Buzzfeed, which means that for every person that went to it from our front page, 50 people arrived at it via sharing, via Facebook links and Twitter. So it was truly a viral story, and it just shows how much internet culture now is really influencing everything.
Speaking about that, I mean, there's been this big debate about which party at their respective conventions was generating more buzz, more viral content. I think most people have pointed to the Democrats, but what's your takeaway?
So I talked to our editor-in-chief, Ben Smith, about this, and I asked, you know, the Obama tweets far outstripped at the DNC, the RNC tweets. It was about 9 million tweets per second at the DNC versus 3 million tweets per second at the RNC. Ben basically said that the Obama base is much younger. They're much more on Twitter. The passion around Clinton is very fervent. So that really is the explanation for why social media exploded more during the DNC than the RNC.
Let's move from buzzed about stories to buzzed about brands. I mean, you work with a lot of them. What is gaining traction? General Electric, I know you guys have worked with.
Yeah, so we're doing something really exciting this month. September is Nostalgia Month on Buzzfeed. And that's because nostalgia is one of the most viral types of content. So GE really seized upon this with us. They sponsor what we're calling a time machine on the site, which allows you to set Buzzfeed to the 1930s and read stories about Prohibition or the 1920s. GE is doing incredibly shareable content with us around vintage ads, photos taken on Instagram, vintage things that look vintage, stories about Thomas Edison and his friends. So they're really kind of seizing upon the kind of content that people love to share and being able to connote the fact that GE is all about timeless innovation, all about invention that's gone on for the past 100 years.
Interesting. So they're still trying to send the same message from a GE television ad that you'd see then?
Yeah, I mean, GE has core values: innovation, eco-imagination. One of the stories that they've been working with us to tell over the past year or so is this idea that GE is at the root of so many technologies that have influenced American life and global life, and really continues to innovate throughout time.
Let's talk about some of the players that are helping all this stuff to go viral. Some recent news out of Twitter about changing how companies can do ad targeting on Twitter. What's been some of the early reaction to Twitter's new development there?
It's a game-changing product for Twitter. The amazing thing about Twitter is a company that people doubted so much, I think, is really now starting to outperform expectations. All things D said they're going to do $350 million this year. That's 3x from last year. And the products announced this week are targeting functionalities that allow you to target 350 different interest types, from gardening to finance to everything imaginable. You can also target users that follow certain users. You can follow people who like to follow Justin Bieber, for example. We think that when we go and spread branded content on the web now, Twitter is going to be totally different for us and totally enhanced with this ability to target all these different interests around branded content.
We've only got about 10 seconds, but we know that in mobile ad revenue, Twitter is outpacing Facebook this year. And
yes,
people are expecting Facebook to pick up big time next year. But what do you think, Twitter versus Facebook, mobile ad revenue next year?
I think that anyone with a native ad product, an in-stream product that is different than a banner, that fits with the context of the product, is in a great position. The Facebook mobile product is phenomenal. The social sponsored stories are great. I think, Facebook's a much bigger network than Twitter. I think they're both going to see a lot of success in the coming year. The big loser is going to be banners. Mobile banners work even worse than desktop banners.